Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people. Radio Democracy, supported by ASIWA and powered by AfriCell. Radio Democracy, supported by ASIWA and powered by AfriCell.
For news, views, and entertainment, stay tuned to Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1, simply the best.
Radio Democracy, supported by ASIWA and powered by AfriCell.
Glanville Studios, good morning and welcome to the first edition of the program Good Morning Salone for this week, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today, na Monday, June 29th, 2020. Where they bring the program come to you this Monday morning, my name na Khadija Bangura.
And Mina Mabel Kaba, good morning. Inside this Monday edition of the program Good Morning Salone, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Prince Lashwa, say police investigate now for know if the alleged rape case gets anything to do with 5-year-old Khadija Sako in Daiwan.
We are looking at penetration of a child, which is a complete and separate offense, and evidence that we would require to prove that by law.
The registrar for the alleged treason case in the High Court, Patrick Abraham Sana, don't say where they go State House. They meet sign them where they show person waiting on for cargo inside State House. And at the program this morning, we go for can talk to the commissioner na the Domestic Tax Department na the National Revenue Authority NRA Ibrahim Sori Kamara where they can talk about the domestic tax collection where NRA don't they do this BNTM.
Well, this and plenty other story them, then at the program for you this Monday morning, plus the Minister of Local Government, Tambalamina, say, they don't ask the Mayor for the Freetown City Council her worship Ivona Kisoya for tap force for collect the property rate tax, so it go through the right procedure them. Members say they listen to it live on www.radiodemocracy.sl, courtesy of Siwa, and powered by AfriCell. And self they listen to it live from Radio Shalom 89.5 Nakoina Dugu District, Radio Maleng 88.5 and Radio Wanje na Pujaun District, Radio Kolenten 90.0 na Cambia, Radio Mao 105.5 na Kailaun District, and Voice of Karine 98.0 na Karine District. The program na Good Morning Salone, you can send me a message on 077 981 981. 077 981 981 na the number for send you message. You self will be part of the program this morning. Or if they watch on our Facebook page, you can same way so drop you message now we comment section. We go read and later on at the program. Well, as we tell on earlier, today na the program, we go talk to the Commissioner at the Domestic Tax Department from the National Revenue Authority. We go can talk about the domestic tax collection where NRA don't they do this BNTM. Well, at the studio this morning, I want to welcome Dr. Ibrahim Sori Kamara, we are the Commissioner for the Domestic Tax Department. Good morning, Doc, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Khadija, and good morning, Silence.
All right, continue for the with we will come back to you just now.
The first issue we look at in the program this Monday morning. Now, outside the Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jalodong, go open the library where Rotary Club of Freetown Sunset District 9101. Together with them partner them bill for the Russell Primary School, and the building cost over 300 million loans. Also, the Vice President say plenty school picking them. Still they get challenged because they not get library. Alex Lawrence Kroma gets more on this and gonna report.
On behalf of the government and also of the generous support of the Rotary Club, I hereby personally, officially open this library built by the Rotary Club. Thank you very much.
Voice of the Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallo will be the open the library where Rotary Club of Freetown Sunset District 9101 together with them partner them build at the Rural Education Committee Primary School na Boyo Village and the Western Area Rural District. Ibrahim I.D. Cole, now the deputy head teacher for the RC Primary School. He said this school now the oldest school now the Western Area Rural District, and they don't be the first school for get library.
The school is the first school around this area since its inception. It has been serving over 27 communities, and it was established in 1913. It's over 107 years now. It was established in Russell, that is the Russell Amalgamated School. But when the British Royal Air Force left this facility, the school was transferred to this place and has been here since then.
Mr. Cole continues to say, this support, not to the first one where they don't get from Rotary Club of Freetown Sunset.
Our relationship with Rotary is a sweet and interesting one. The school was in their need when they came and provided first set of furniture. They came again with another set of furniture, and then with solar-powered radio sets. Over 500 radios were distributed to the pupils and teachers on that particular time. They also came again with scholarship for pupils, deserving pupils who are doing very well in the school. And then also today, we are here to launch this wonderful library. It is great. Library is backbone to teaching and learning. And we are really happy that this facility is here for the very first school in this area. And we are also the first school to have a library at this magnitude.
We in the talk after they don't open the library, the president for the Rotary Club of Freetown Sunset, District 9101, Michael Akarija to say, now about 6 months they take for build this library and say they spend over 300 million loans.
We turned the sword on the 19th of September and we done inside March. The total cost just a little over 300 million loans, where we now include the books. We partner with the Yak Jones Foundation, where we launch a book drive. So there's of help we forget at the books them only. We they continue for support the school. For the past 5 years, we don't they support the school. We they give them scholarships, so they give them uniforms, books, desks, chairs. So this school, we adopt the school for the past 5 years. We will continue for do more for this school, not only the school, but for the Russell community. It is a fantastic project. We tell thank you to we donors. We get a major donor, Maripoma Construction. We tell thank you to the individuals back and all the other companies them, and to the people who help we forget this money for build this project. And you want to attend with fundraising activities them, when our annual barbecue and our annual induction dinner. We tell una all thank you, because if not to be for una, and we set a few personal fund to pull for build this library, this project not for don't complete.
We in a talk through video call, the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education, Dr. David Senge, been tell thank you to Rotary Club of Freetown for their support. As he said this go help for push the book learning business go before, we make it say the ministry go support the school and self put more book na the library.
So the library is transformational, not just for single children or people in schools, but it is transformational for societies, communities where there are libraries, where it's open. We know the data, we know the evidence. And as a minister, we will give our full support and full blessings to the library where we need to provide materials that the government has. We'll provide those materials.
We in the talk for officially open the library na the Russell School. The Vice President, Dr. Mohammed Julde Jallo, say this support will help reduce the plenty challenge which school in the country don't they get for library business.
You all know that the flagship program for the new direction government is education, and see that Rotary Club is supporting communities to improve learning outcomes by providing library and furniture. I am very pleased, and we are pleased as a government, and we want to thank you very much for that effort. On the second note is, we have realized in the last 2 years that one key element that is missing in most of these schools is a library. Today, government is providing free teaching and learning materials, and you have a cycle of 3 years. But when you have a library, you can better maximize the utility of those teaching and learning materials, because you now have a safe place where you can store them, where kids will come in the evening or during school hours to make use of them. So this culture, I was very impressed when Michaela told me that we are going to launch a library here, because this culture of getting libraries back to schools is a very, very formidable one.
Vice President Julde Jallo be asked the authorities them at the school and serve the Russell community for all the facility with Suan and make sure so the school picking them use them well.
This is for the community. This library will not a place for can sleep, not a place for can play. When you tell you company say, if you don't see me, go find me in a library. This library now for sit down there and for read. That is one key message the school and community leaders need to send to kids. Second, because now you have a library, we are going to measure the learning outcomes in this school. Already the minister have said, he looked up the data for the Russell School, you can do better. So now that you have a library, you have to improve on the learning outcomes. Now that una get library, the school picking them for do more, them for pass exam more. Not to that dry eye pass, that dry eye pass, when 50% to no want at all.
As all this be, Michael Akarija to say, who don't serve as president for Rotary Club of Freetown Sunset, District 9101 for the past 1 year, don't hand over to new person. We go take the club in leadership for the next 1 year. Inside this handing over ceremony, Michael Akarija to say, been talk about the good thing them way he do inside the 1 year way he be as president. Michael say, he be still able for do something them. We make the Rotary Club of Freetown Sunset the name big pass how it be midterm.
We promised to popularize Rotary and its ideals, and we delivered. Our club also achieved all our goals set out in my Rotary at the start of the Rotary year in relation to club membership, service participation, and leadership development. Our club inducted 5 new members, which surpassed our targeted 3 members. Our club held an annual barbecue on 22nd November 2019, and we raised the sum of 84 million leones, which went towards the construction of the library at Brussels. A Christmas dinner was also held by Zone 3, which was a lovely family affair. We're excited to inform you all that we promised to charter an Interact Club, and we achieved that. The Interact Club of the International School Limited has been chartered. It pleases me to inform you all that the outbreak of the coronavirus did not stop us Rotarians from staying connected and from doing good.
He been promised the new president say he will continue for work with the administration for make sure say the work of Rotary Club of Freetown Sunset continue for grow past how it is now. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Alex Lawrence Koroma, the report.
The program where they listen na Good Morning Salone, it come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. 7:43 na the time from we studio clock, and we still get Dr. Ibrahim Sori Kamara, we na the commissioner na the Domestic Tax Department from the National Revenue Authority. The Domestic Tax Department, they under the National Revenue Authority, then they forget that all tax them way for go to government, especially from people where they can consider as major contributor them. NRA be established the Domestic Tax Department as a one-stop shop for gather different tax them like the goods and services tax, pay as you earn, where na the PAYE, rental tax and property tax. Well, for can talk more about how they know they gather different tax them, especially the one they will get for do with the rental tax and property tax. Now I make Dr. Ibrahim Sori Kamara, we are the commissioner for the Domestic Tax Department. They with we na the studio this morning. Good morning one more time, Doc, and welcome to the program once more.
Yeah, good morning again, Khadija, and good morning, Salonians and everybody.
All right, as I don't state earlier, why the National Revenue Authority be established the Domestic Tax Department, where now you they head that particular department there. And if you look at the functions of the department, you go see say una na major contributor them from the tax system where NRA they collect. Before we can look at the different tax them where una don they collect, generally just give a background as to how this department don't they get a couple for contribute to the government consolidated funds.
Yeah, thank you very much again, Khadija and Fambulem. Now, good morning again. The NRA, of course, we all know say the body where government set up in 2001, and we come into action in 2002 for collect revenues for ensure that Sierra Leone become independent in terms of resources we need for govern the state. So the DTD we call Domestic Tax Department, we are the head, and then at the area of collecting taxes that are generated within Sierra Leone, the income we will make from all economic activities. Because taxation gets 2 border divisions. We get international trade taxes, that one they only collect at customs points, borders and the airports. They will get the one they will collect within the economy. So now the domestic tax department fairly safe. And the tax there include the pay as you earn, we all the pay monthly from salaries and allowance system. We get corporate income tax, personal income tax, we get capital gains tax, we get rental income tax, so now they purposely I go dwell on this morning. Then you get also the GST, we are aware of also, not consumption tax as well. These are some of the major tax handles. We also get the domestic excise and so on. So over the years, NRA don't undertake a lot of reforms for ensure say we get less to do with physical contact with taxpayers. And now the domestic department, the reform way major one will take on now the ITAS, integrated tax administration system, where therefore say people go for make payments and filing of returns online. But as we all know, domestic tax collection is driven by economic activities, basically. And over the years, we don't see NRA don't they meet and exceed the target. In some cases, also we can get some challenges because when there are changes in the economy, in terms of the base and so on. But basically, with this current administration, a lot of inputs don't make into the tax administration vis-a-vis training personnel as much as possible. Then also automation, which is very, very key on right now. And also in terms of staff morale, staff integrity also to improve in terms of freedom, in terms of like giving the officers the opportunity for use the law and also best practice in revenue administration. So we also there among we compete in Africa and West Africa in terms of collection, and quite frankly over the years, for the past 2 years, NRA don't do extremely well for sustained government in activities, and of course we're not able to do that without the support of the Ministry of Finance. So also I want to recognize the support of the Ministry of Finance for ensure say timely we get we collection commission, and also then the help we in terms of getting the right policies in place, and also motivating we by giving us other supports apart from just the finances. So that's basically the overview of how domestic tax and NRA don't operate for the past 2 years.
So how you go describe the issue we get for doing compliance? Because now one way this particular department we the head so over the years we don't ensure say on a day now people in neck for ensure say they comply with the taxes here we una can collect for raise revenue for the government. How compliance don't like especially this time where the country affects the coronavirus?
Okay, well, if you talk about compliance, I will want to divide the taxpayer base into two major categories. We get the large taxpayers, which they contribute about 80% of the revenues for domestic tax department. Then also get the small and medium taxpayers of office or taxpayers where they contribute about 20%, so that 80-20 kind of combination. So in terms of compliance, we get very high level of compliance from the large taxpayers. These are people that are turn over there above 6 billion per annum. And inside that group, they get the banks, the mobile companies, the mining companies, and most of them big companies, and the oil companies and so on. So before now, the compliance rate may be less than 90%. Now I'll talk about 95 or more percent of compliance with respect to the large taxpayers. And one of the things that will drive that compliance now the commitment on the part of the NRA administration for ensure say we meet the requirements. Because if you say someone an esteemed taxpayer or a kind of prioritized customer, you get first-class services. So large taxpayers we always encourage them for ensure say they file their returns on time, they pay on time, and also wherever they get cash flow issues, they can we negotiate a payment plan within the law and ensure say we also give them the kind cushion effect for ensure say not only paying your taxes but also ensure say you're able to keep your business going. In terms of the small and medium taxpayers, when about 20% revenue contribution, then compliance rate still a little bit challenging. Now dynamic we get a lot of reforms now for getting on board. If I break the small and medium further, we get the medium we're about 60-70% compliance, we get the small we're still less than 30%. And the small one less than 30% compliance, now they will get them micro businesses, then small petty traders, the one who get them kiosks and small shops them and so on. So their own compliance is very low because basically most of them don't understand properly the tax system and they can also safely say now a burden to them for pay taxes. So what the NRA don't do over the years, and for increase the tax education, we increase the interaction with them, and also we try to set up offices them around where they operate, so that they go for get access to services and they don't go get high cost of compliance, that is traveling long distance going to places to pay your taxes. So try to diversify with activities make them friendly to them and make it accessible to them. So in terms of compliance, the large taxpayers they comply about 95%, medium about 60-70%, and the small one then less than 30%. But overall, the culture don't improve because people don't recognize the importance of payment of taxes. And during this COVID term, we also try to bring a lot of incentive packages for taxpayers. But maybe during the program, we also explain what the Minister of Finance don't do with we for support businesses them for survive during these hard times where the world they go through.
All right, Dr. Sorry, let me talk about two tax them way departments they in charge of when are the rental tax and property tax. Then two major tax there. So now one way we don't they see different arguments, don't they come up this meeting between the Freetown City Council and that of the Ministry of Local Government. From the NRA point of view, who that suppose for pay rental tax and who that suppose for pay property tax?
Okay, thank you very much. The rental tax now in NRA they collect 2 million per annum. Definitely they pay rental income tax of 10% of that excess. So meaning, for instance, if you pay 10 million for a self-contained room, okay, the first 7.2 million is not taxable by NRA. The balance 2.8 million is taxed at 10%, not 180,000. But again, before you be a tenant in a house, you got to get an agreement between you and the landlord. So what the law is trying to say is that if the property, the landlord carry out any repairs or maintenance during the course of the year, would they give extra 10% allowance, which means instead of a pay tax on the of 280,000, you get 10% off from that 200,000. About there's about 20,000 thereabout. So then they get a kind of relief from Dandy. So in essence, the 10% is taxable on the rental value of property will exceed 7.2 million per annum. And if you carry out any repairs or maintenance as a landlord, you get additional 10% relief from the tax you pay. But again, there should be evidence of the repairs, and also it will be included in the agreement we don't sign with the tenant. So now make the law also make an obligatory on the part of the landlord for submit copy of the agreement to NRA whenever they rent in property. So property tax they only come inside when you get the property, whether you make income from it or not. Because of the fact that you own a property within a kind of jurisdiction or locality or whatever, city council they tax you on the value of property. Then get the way how they go about and determine that value day. We not get hand on that side. Property tax. Yes, city council collect property tax because you own the property, whether you use that for business or not. And now they only collect rental income tax. When we use the property for commercial purpose, the income they make from that property, they NI the tax. It is not all over way. You get more than 7.2 million leons per property per annum. So if they pay 30,000 rent, now one small pan body, 10,000 rent, 50,000 rent per annum, and now they collect tax from the money in day. Now where they rent past 7,200,000 per year.
So how
that excess they will collect tax on from the NI point of view.
How the rental income tax be done the work over the years? How una be done the whose method una be done the use for do?
Well, over the years, what we do, we factor the rental income tax as a tax handle under the small and medium taxpayers office, because we do categorization of taxpayers, then fit into the small and medium. So if I now say all the tax offices, apart from the domestic tax headquarter or NI headquarter and the large taxpayers office, any other office where you see, for instance, now Western and Wilkins Road, Pacific Street and Eastern, then call office and the small and medium taxpayers offices. So I did the taxpayers and they go for making a declaration. But then they subsume them all under the same office. But because of the fact say rental income tax, we don't observe say most people they comply with that tax handle day. So the law they threaten tenants if he cut tax per the rent, he go get a notice. So but putting they around and so what to do, we try for centralized rental income tax administration by setting it up as a separate unit. We'll get a manager who they head in now, we'll get other officers them, who they ensure say they engage the landlords them, they ensure the landlord they file returns, they make them self-declaration and so on. So basically for now we don't put it all under one umbrella where somebody look at them keenly. Before now it be used for under the general arrangement under the medium taxpayers office. But again what the family for know is that for letting rental income tax be successful, the tenants also get a key role for play.
Right, we can talk about that later. Continue to do it in the program. Ibrahim Sori Kamara, where they had the domestic tax departments na NRA. The program Good Morning Salone, they continue with a look at more issues.
We continue with the program and we take one for our headline story them. We continue with the program, sorry for that each day, and now we take one for our headline story them. Beside the Minister of Local Government, Tambalamina State, you know, all meeting with the mayor for the Freetown City Council, our worship Yvonne Akisoya, and this day. Alright, so I go over that today again, and we sorry for that each day. The Minister of Local Government, Tambalamina say, it all meeting with the mayor for the Freetown City Council, her worship Yvonne Akisoya, and agree say it a tap force for collect the property tax rate. So it go through the right procedure them na the 2004 Local Government Act. Tambalamina talk this inside one meeting with journalists them and the Minister of Information and Communication. Also, it be the update but waiting come out at the meeting where he hold with the mayor of Freetown City Council for sake of the property rate tax where the mayor be don't begin collect this BNTM. We report a Karifa to contact be the part of this meeting and he gonna report.
This BNTM, the Freetown City Council be review them property tax rates for CC, then collect plenty couple for one day administration them. Where according to the mayor for the Freetown City Council, people get property na Freetown when they pay for, and some not they pay proper tax for them property them. We make them come up with this review. Outside they hire experts them for can do and for them. But after this, plenty don they come between the central government and the Freetown City Council. We make them tap City Council not for collect this rate force. Where this according to Minister of Local Government, Tambalamina, the mayor no go according to the right procedure for implement the property rate tax. But waiting at them procedure they are.
Firstly, the area of procedure and law. Secondly, public engagement and consultation. Thirdly, ownership by the council staff of FCC. And lastly, the timing. With regards to procedure and law, the Local Government Act of 2004 is very clear as to the processes that need to be engaged in order to review property tax or taxes. It was very clear that those processes have not been followed, mainly with regards consultation with the ministry, that is the supervising ministry, and a very pivotal element in monitoring the activities of FCC. Additionally, there are also requirements within the Local Government Act itself that require the Ministry of Local Government, in consultation with the Ministry of Finance, to develop guidelines for levying such taxes. Those guidelines were not issued, neither were they requested by FCC.
But before this decision, according to the minister, then we don't get meeting with the city council before them cancel this program first. Waiting at the outcome of the meeting, the minister take week 2.
If you can recall, on the 19th of June, I wrote a letter to Her Worship the Mayor of Freetown, admonishing her to keep on hold actions relating to increasing of property tax. And the reason for that letter then was because we felt it wasn't timely, especially during this pandemic period of COVID-19. Today, we had that meeting. We had very fruitful deliberations with the FCC, and we arrived at very tangible conclusions. I must first of all reiterate that the Ministry of Local Governance and Rural Development and the government of His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, are not against any reforms, especially reforms to increase home-sourced revenue.
Tambalamina end up say the mayor self agreed to this decision where they don't take.
The mayor accepted and apologized for not engaging the ministry as per due process. Also for failing to request the required guideline that will stipulate the extent and limit of such taxes when they are levied. I have requested the mayor to follow due process and that will form the legal basis of the reform that she is now proposing. Again, I must inform you, Sierra Leoneans, that the purpose here is not that we are against reform, because Freetown City Council needs to reform, and the ministry is with them as far as that is concerned. But posterity would remember us for not following due process if we were just to gloss over processes that are outlined in this act.
As Tambalamina promise say, after this review, they will come up with this property tax rate. As people hope say, they will amend them well for CC, City Council able continue their work. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Mina Karifa to contest the report.
Sierra Leone Commercial.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile App, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody elect you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office elect you not get the account number. Buy Ed-Salite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You no need for worry again but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go na Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
The program na Good Morning Salone, they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, that report say we play before the jingle na Karifatu Conte be the report on the updates where the Minister of Local Government Tabalamina Bingito journalist them after we be the old meeting with the mayor for the Freetown City Council, Her Worship Yvonne Akisoya. Usa say he been tell the mayor inside this meeting with them too old for tap force for the collect property rate tax. So it go through the right procedure them now the 2004 Local Government Act. Well, Karifatu Conte be the part of the briefing where the minister be all with journalists them after we do all meeting with the mayor. The program na Good Morning Salone, and we will bring the program come to you this Monday morning. Mina Khadija Bangura
and Mabel Kaba. We will continue with the program and they come back to Ibrahim Sori Kamara. We be done they explain give about the rental income tax where the NRA they collect, as they say, it different from the property rates where the council then they collect. As you be done they explain earlier, you be done talk about the rental income tax and save the percentage where NRA they take from the rental income tax. Now let me look at I be asked you earlier, say how una they collect the tax. The reason being, I asked the question because I be one for no waiting be there behind the decision where NRA take for write letter to the mayor for the Freetown City Council for ask them for data from the property rates where the council then they collect. Wait to make NRA be write that letter they for ask for the data of that particular tax they will then they collect.
Okay, NRA they work with a lot of stakeholders them. And City Council are one of them. We also get a lot of other MDAs there we collaborate with. So whenever we want information on taxpayer or related matters, we can always contact any MDA for provide information to we. So recently, where we try to do a reform in rental income tax administration, we identify City Council as one of resources of information because we understand that they don't do survey, then get information on who that get property, and a lot more information we're interested in. Because instead of we go back and pay enumerators them and do the same thing where we feel say an institution of that nature get the information in there, we decide for engage with them so that they will share information for little know who than a landlord and a property, who than a tenant, and that will give we information as to who that we for target for rental income tax purposes. So that will be the reason why we could write City Council for giving information for ensure say we use information there for administer the rent and income tax, not just the income aspect of the property that we people get. The property that we not they make income for the owners them, we not get no hands in that.
So una been feel say like una not be satisfied with the turnout where una be get, una been feel say the landlord them be done the cheat NRA we make una say una need that data day?
Yeah, because we need forget you see in tax administration we also believe in accurate and credible data. Basically we get data on NRA, but as a way of cross-checking whether then data they really they up to date, because some property we don't change hands, some we don't convert from owners occupied to tenancy. A lot of changes will not take place within the given time frame. So where we start the reform in administering rental income tax, we identify City Council for see how we compare notes with what we get now with database against what they get in the recent survey they do. So that where necessary, we will use the information there for administer our taxes. Because we ask for more information, probably even more than what City Council will get, but we need to get a base. So I'll compare with what we get and see with whose kind of sense we can make out of that for maximizing revenue collection. Because quite frankly, most landlords them no resign a sale some day abroad.
You
Some are tenants and some are agents and managing property for them. Some don't die. So we need to get updated data. So we want a quick win. That's why we even go under. But NI also they work on doing independent survey, doing independent activity for ensure say we get more realistic and reliable data for administer rental income tax.
You say una be one for do reforms on the rental income tax, so make una go to the Freetown City Council for help una with data them. How long NIA don't they gather this rental income tax, and how una be don't they try for popularize them, let people know say yes I suppose for pay this kind of tax under NIA?
Well, rental income tax day as early as when we start the NRE 2002 basically. And as I mentioned earlier, we've been subsumed into some of the sub-offices them. That is, we put them inside the envelope of most of the substations them, as any other tax they do currently. But because of the sensitivity of rental income tax and the fact say, we believe say rental income tax will generate more revenue than waiting would they get. Because in most of the tax handles them, after a year or so, even during the course of the year, we can go back and review strategies them. We go back and check whether would they do things right. So, and also a part of with diversification of with focus in tax administration. Because there was a time when we see the mines and nobody gets much revenue. Now this COVID-19 don't come, most businesses don't close down. So like for instance, the aviation sector gets seriously affected, the hospitality sector gets affected. So NI want to find a way for ensure so we cover the gap. We're not just sit down, we wait for the excuse and economic target. We want to ensure say we will be very flexible as a tax administration and we see how we penetrate for get more revenues for fill the gap. So and we almost say during the COVID, people still occupy houses. People still they live in the house and most of their offices still get office space. Even some of them don't suspend operations temporarily, but the people who get a property they still get income from their property because they still pay their rents in. So as a way of diversifying, we revenue focus, we ensure say we try now for strengthening rent and income tax administration for fill the gap so that we will provide government with the required resources for keep the economy going.
Dr. William, so you go agree with me say the domestic tax department not don't popularize this particular rental income tax. We make some confusion there for let people understand who that suppose for get a particular tax and who that suppose for pay this particular tax.
Well, the thing about tax administration is a continuous process. We always engage the media. We always engage taxpayers. In fact, every day they write hundreds of letters to taxpayers. We call them into meetings. We interact with them frequently. But again, it's not still enough. We still feel say we need to do more. And now that we don't take the rent and income tax as a whole tax handle where we focus our attention on for fill the revenue gaps, we still say we need to do more than what we will do. We always advertise, we always engage taxpayers. But now that, as I say, we try to give more resources on that area, we feel say more needs to be done. And then we identify stakeholders like City Council and other organizations